Hey beauties, it's Jayme Jo
and Jessie Massoud,
and welcome to
Skinfluence, a podcast dedicated to beauty, fashion and self-love,
turning your weakness
into your uniqueness.
Before we get started, we'd like to acknowledge the custodians of the land on which we record, the Gadigal People of the Eora Nation.
Let's get into it.
So it's been a week since the Met Gala, and we were just kind of chatting through a little bit of the trends and things that we saw happening on the carpet.
After the Met, every year we see like a bunch of different trends that come out of it based off what we see the celebrities are doing at the time. So what did you notice there was a lot of at this Met?
I saw a lot of bleached eyebrows on the red carpet, and I actually think that that is a trend influenced by beauty influencers on socials rather than celebrities themselves.
I was going to say it's kind of like roles reversed here because we've seen the no eyebrows on TikTok a year ago.
Yeah.
For like a while, and they kind of like went away, and now we saw it back at the Met.
I'm even seeing like shaved off eyebrows and like drawn on skinny little sticks. Like it's giving 90s.
Like to the max.
Yeah. So speaking of trends, we have so many trends coming and going, and I think because we are all chronically online, trends are flying in and out so quickly. And me and Jessie were kind of discussing why we think trends happen in the first place.
Yeah, we sort of came to three different conclusions. There are three main reasons why trends are constantly coming in and out and why they've always happened throughout time. So what's happening in the world is the first thing. The second thing is what is the media pushing and what beauty standards are being pushed at the time. And the third is the influence of celebrities and now also influencers.
And now influencers. Also, because we are all on socials so often, we are seeing thousands of people and thousands of things all the time. And I don't think we were ever actually created to see this many different type of faces.
If you think about it, people growing up in small towns would see the same 300, 400 faces throughout the whole year.
Or their entire lifetime.
Like, literally in their entire life. And now every single day we are exposed to just so many different things.
So many different people, so many different features and looks, and I really think that trends resurface right now at such a quick rate because of just like the fast-paced nature of social media and of the media in general.
Exactly. When we look at previous trends throughout times, they usually lasted like a decade.
Yeah.
You think about 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s with the rise of technology and the technicolored things that were happening.
Exactly. In the 80s, I really think that they thought they were living in the future because we saw this like neon technicolor vibe going on, which was definitely directly influenced by, at the time, the rise of technology.
Exactly.
Then when we head into the 90s, which is, I think, a lot of people's favorite era in terms of trends.
I think it resonates really well with the people now.
Yeah, with this generation. We really see a few different things that poke out.
Yeah.
Number one, heroin chic. Like, come on. The trend of heroin chic is wild in the 90s, and it really was very, very unhealthy. But the whole grunge era really resonated with a lot of people in the 90s.
Yeah, there are particular aspects I love about it.
Yeah.
But with the rise of accessibility to like magazines and TV in the homes, the media was really pushing that really super skinny,
like unhealthy
supermodel. And I think because people hadn't been exposed to that as much previously, what they were being fed is what they thought I also should look like. So then we have the rise of the almond mums, right?
Yes.
So our parents and our generation, they are all influenced by this magazine era and that
photoshopped, like over-smoothed, over-perfected images that they were seeing in the 90s. And also, Victoria's Secret was like booming.
Exactly. And they didn't know back then that photoshopping
existed.
They didn't know that people were being photoshopped in magazines.
Yeah.
So they looked at themselves in the mirror and were like, oh my gosh, I don't look like this. I've got a little blemish on my skin. Like, this isn't acceptable. And then that sort of trickled down into the way they perceived themselves and then, I guess, how they raised their daughters, if we get a little bit deep.
And their children in particular. So in terms of now, in the way that we're seeing trends happening, they are a lot more fast-paced, as we said, just because of the nature of, like, social media. And I think it's really funny to see just this younger generation creating new trends. But they're actually not new at all. They're just resurfaced trends with different names.
Yeah. And if I, like, go back to the previous point, which was a little bit like, oh, no, almond mums, I think now everything's a bit more unfiltered in the sense that we know that photoshopping is happening. We know that there's work being done on individuals. And we know that, I guess, there's more representation of all different body types.
And like natural, unfiltered kind of imagery and photography is a lot more used now than it was 10 years ago.
Exactly. So then when we're seeing these trends now, I think it's actually a more healthy and fun way of looking at trends, whereas before it was kind of detrimental to the women's health.
Yeah, I think that everyone thought they had to look exactly like those magazine images or those celebrities or those supermodels. Like, it really was a supermodel era in the 90s. And now, as you said, we've got a lot more like unfiltered beauty and more of a naturalistic approach to beauty in general.
Yeah, and we have like so many different trends happening at the same time that are suited to different people and that they want to try.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you'll see online how there are people that are trying to get the sexy secretary look and some people are trying to get the Sabrina Carpenter look and some people that are just showing their individuality and what they love. So there's like so many different things happening at once, which is really fun.
Funny you mentioned those two trends, Jessie, of the sexy secretary and then we've got the beautiful Sabrina Carpenter makeup look. We're going to be chatting through them and kind of dissecting them. Why are they trending right now? How can you achieve that look? And if you want to achieve it, what products do you want to use to just play into that and try something new, I guess, with your makeup? Let's talk about these two trends. So we've got sexy secretary.
And me and Jamie were talking about this on the car ride here. We're not a big fan of the sexy secretary name for the trend.
But we like the trend
love
itself.
Yeah.
So what is the trend? What does it look like?
So the trend is all about that messy, undone, unfinished sort of I've thrown myself together look.
Sultry.
I'm sultry, I'm alluring.
Yeah.
Like, everyone wants to sort of feel that at different times.
And a little bit more like dark feminine energy.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
That's a perfect way to describe this trend. So it's all about being alluring and it's about kind of enhancing your features in a little bit more of a grungy way.
Yeah, it's definitely pointing towards that 90s heroin chic look, but in a different way.
It's resurfaced. As we said, these looks are all looks that have been done before, but they're catered to a little bit more of a different, younger generation, and they're new to them.
Exactly.
So why don't we like the name Sexy Secretary?
Well, I think the name kind of over-sexualizes women in the workforce.
In the workplace. When you really, like, if we're going deep into it, as we kind of always do, women in the workplace should never be over-sexualized, and that's definitely, like, an issue.
Yeah.
And this trend can definitely play into that and kind of overemphasize sexualizing women. So me and Jessie were brainstorming on, like, a different name that we would have given this trend.
And we came to the conclusion that we love the wine girly.
Yes,
what was it?
It's a red wine girl.
Yeah, the red wine girl.
This
I love
trend,
that. Red wine makeup.
Yeah, this trend is for the red wine girlies. And the reason being, when we describe what the trend is and what it looks like, you've got like a brown lip liner with a juicy red cherry lip.
Like, that's the standout to me. And then like the smudgy eyeliner, which like really emphasizes the sultry, like alluring eyes.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's reserved just for people with brown eyes.
No.
But I think it really enhances people with brown eyes.
It does. And that kind of gives off that dark feminine look.
Yeah, it does.
This trend looks so beautiful on you particularly. Like, I love this makeup look on you. And it's a fun trend in terms of what it actually looks like and what you're trying to portray and the vibe you're giving off. Like, if you're going out for a night with the girlies.
And I'm getting a red wine. I'm doing my red wine makeup.
Yeah, I'm doing the red wine makeup. And that's kind of a name that we would attribute to this trend rather than Sexy Secretary, just for it to feel like
only
a little
because,
less weird.
Like, if you think about it, we've got 13, 14-year-olds on TikTok saying this, not really realizing, like, you know, it just doesn't sit right.
Yeah, kind of like the weight of the name. So Red Wine Girly, this makeup look, how would we achieve it?
Okay, I love doing this makeup look and I love a bit of red wine. So my favorite way to achieve this is using the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette from Sephora. It is more on the expensive side.
Yeah.
It's $94, but in my opinion, this palette has every shade that I ever need whenever I do an eyeshadow palette. I could have no other eyeshadow palette and I'd be okay.
Yeah, I think it's just created with mastery in mind. Like, Makeup by Mario is such an incredible makeup artist, and that really translates through this product. You've got every shade you would possibly need.
Every nude shade.
Yep.
Every brown shade. You've got your black there.
Yep.
You've got like the in-between shades of beiges.
Contouring for
white.
your eyes.
You've got everything.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Such a beautiful palette, and it's really easy to achieve this like smoky look on the eye with the palette. So how would you do it?
My favorite way to do it is I go in with the lighter shade, the white, over my whole eyelid. Then what I do is I go in with like, I mix a couple of the different beige shades and a light brown, and I put that in my crease section.
Just like fluff it through
but really fluff it through. And I'm not the best at like an eye makeup look, but what's great about this trend is that it's supposed to be messy.
Yeah.
So this is good if you're like, I can't do eye makeup.
Yes, so true. This is really good. It doesn't have to be perfect and precise and like
No.
perfect makeup. It's just
Exactly.
about creating that like texture and dimension for the eye.
And then my favorite part is I don't need a different eyeliner or a different product. I go in with an angled brush and I use the black shade and I smudge that as my eyeliner and it just looks great.
Creating a wing with a black eyeshadow is so much easier than any liquid product, and it gives that smoky, sensual effect.
Yeah, it's super sexy. It looks so good.
Yeah, so that's one aspect of this look. It's the alluring eye. And then I would say the next aspect of this look is the cherry wine lip. I
yummy.
love this trend. I love seeing it, and it is so juicy, and it's really actually super easy and effortless to achieve.
Yeah, all you need is like a brown lip liner and a cherry lip oil or a lip gloss.
Okay, so my favorite lip liner to use would be the Mecca Max lip liner in Super. You can buy this from Mecca. It's only $16.
Yummy.
Yeah. This is
So
it's
good.
such a good color. So it's the shade Super, and it looks good on really every skin tone because it's that deep chocolate reddish brown. And it's only $16 from Mecca, and you want to really kind of poutily overline your lips. So I like to in the center not really define my Cupid's bow, but kind of round it out a little bit more for that juicy effect.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like to do to kind of get that alluring lip look. And then we're going to go in the center of the lip.
With the NYX Professional Makeup Fat Oil Lip Drip Lip Gloss.
Fat oil. What a funny name.
Let's just call it the Fat Oil because
Yeah.
damn, that's
Yeah.
a long name. You can get that for $20 from Priceline.
So super accessible again, and it's a beautiful texture in terms of the product. It's just going to make your lips look fat and juicy, and the color is the perfect cherry. And mixed in with that brown lip look, it's really going to like enhance that red wine vibe, especially if you're
Yes.
drinking a little bit of red wine.
That shade was called Newsfeed.
Newsfeed.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like a vibe in
I
terms
like
of
it.
this red wine
Red
trend.
wine with my Newsfeed lip oil.
Yeah. So this is such a fun trend, and I think it really does look best if you're going to give off that alluring look.
I think it's a good nighttime look.
Yeah, it's a nighttime look. It's a good like first date look if you're
yeah.
trying to emulate
I'm
like
interesting.
yeah, a powerful, mysterious woman. Don't you feel, do you get that?
I get that.
Like what's that trend that we always say that we're not?
Oh, femme fatale.
Femme fatale. Me and Jessie say we're like I am not femme fatale at all.
We're short.
Like we're short. We don't
don't
have
give
like
it.
the height
To be like
to be femme fatale.
mysterious femme fatale
Exactly.
lady.
Like we're shorties.
not- yeah.
But I still regardless do like to play into this trend and think it's really, really fun. So in terms of the other trend that we're seeing so much of, as in this is flooding my TikTok feed, and I've actually already played into this trend and created my own video, but it's the Sabrina Carpenter makeup look. It is trending so much.
I think this is on the opposite spectrum of this one, of the sexy secretary wine girly makeup look.
Yeah, and the reason being is this is more of a regurgitation of Victoria's Secret bombshell
Bombshell.
makeup. And we saw this super, super popular in like the early 2010s. And I remember watching millions of beauty guru YouTube videos on this. So it's really interesting to see this trend resurface. But Sabrina's definitely, or her makeup artist, has definitely put another spin on this trend and catered it towards her and to this generation with
Yeah.
the new kind of products and techniques that are used.
It
But-
looks really, really good
Oh,
on
it
her,
looks
I might
so-
say.
it
Like,
looks so
I
good
love
on
it.
her.
Her makeup is always hitting.
It's always on point. The
so no wonder
cheeks.
everyone wants to look like that.
Yes.
She looks plump, glowy, just stunning. And I think it's really youthful as well.
It is. And it's kind of the complete opposite of the sexy secretary trend, as you said, where this is giving off that light feminine energy that I'm really approachable and I'm like angel
La,
girl.
la, la
Yeah,
girl.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm angel girl, la la la. Also, I think that there are two types of people who play into the different trends. And I think sexy secretary was kind of a revolt against the clean girl trend that was
Yeah.
pushed upon us so hard over the last year on TikTok. That was one of the longest standing trends I've ever seen on TikTok.
Yeah, the slick back hair.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing everyone going, oh no, the slick back hair ruined my hair.
It's giving me breakage. And literally people are kind of revolting against that and using the sexy secretary, that smudgy vibe. And that's been really cool to see because I kind of got over that clean girl trend. It just was pushed in our faces way too much.
Yeah, and then we've got this Sabrina Carpenter look, which I think is almost an extension of the clean girl aesthetic.
Yeah, it's like elevated.
But it's elevated, and instead of the slick back hair, it's the perfect blowout.
Yeah. Oh, her blowout is pretty bomb.
She has good hair.
Let's be real. She's
Stylist.
got great hair. I really feel like I love the way this looks on me personally.
It suits your features.
Yeah, it's really bright and it's really fresh and it's very inviting and it's not as deep and alluring and mysterious as what looks good on you. What this trend looks like is basically a really beautiful, glowy overall finish to the makeup. So you've got very pinched cheeks that look like very pink and very like glowy.
This is so much more blushy than the previous trend
very
we
heavy
talked
on the
about.
blush. Very heavy on the blush. And then on the eye, you've got this glowy look, especially in the inner corner, and it's almost coming down underneath the tear duct to give off this sparkly
angel glow,
angelic look to the eyes, which is so beautiful and captivating in my opinion.
So what product do you use to do that?
So I recently got my hands on this stunning product from Bobbi Brown. It is their Longwear Cream Shadow Stick in Moonstone, $51 from Sephora, so it is a little bit more on the pricey side, but it is so beautiful and it's so easy to use. So it's a cream shadow stick. So that means you can literally just draw it on top of an eye, on top of
what?
That means you can draw it on top of any eye look very easily with minimal effort. As in I literally take the crayon, put it inside on my tear duct and then all on the top of my eyelid and then I just tap it in with my fingers and boom. What?
I'm just stuck on the inside of my tear duct.
Inside my tear duct. Well, on top of your tear duct, obviously. But it gives this gorgeous sheen and this beautiful like ethereal glow, almost fairy-like and angelic. So it is so beautiful and very, very easy to use. That product, I love it. And it's definitely multi-purpose too. Like I would love to see this on the top of the cheekbones.
Yeah, that would be a great highlighter. Yeah. I definitely use it for that. Yeah. I remember seeing it over your eye. At night, you were just glowing in the dark. It looked really, really good.
Anytime the light hits you, it's just like
it catches.
Very pretty, very reflective. So that is one product to really help achieve that look. So any highlight or shimmer on the eye is going to look really good anyway. So you've got that, and then it's all about the cheeks.
And we're going to let you in on the exact product Sabrina Carpenter uses.
Exactly. I saw this product in an article, and I just so happened to have it received in the mail that day.
It's delicious.
It is delicious, and it's another product from Makeup by Mario.
They really know what they're doing in that brand.
He's such a phenomenal creator. Like, his looks are incredible and then his products are just as good. So it is the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Shade in Pinch Me Pink. It's $55 from Sephora, and yep, this is the exact blush that Sabrina Carpenter has been using. If you've seen her at Coachella, if you've seen her new Espresso music video, it is so beautiful, and the blush itself is very easy to use.
And it applies so
like
well.
a dream. I understand why
Like
they've
butter.
called it like plumping blush.
Yeah.
Because it really does plump up those cheeks.
It lifts and plumps.
Yeah. And
I
that's why her
love
cheeks
it.
look so damn good.
And like when you like put the brush in the compact, it kind of bounces.
It does. It's like it's a
Jelly.
really nice creamy formula. So I use that with a big fluffy brush or a beauty blender, and I like to just tap that on the top of the cheeks whilst I still have all my wet products on.
Oh yeah.
So not on top of a powder.
Never put cream products on top of a powder. It will make it split.
It really does just separate the makeup. So that's why I like to use this cream blush only on top of foundation. And then I like to set it with a little bit of just stop it. Me and Jessie have the giggles now. I like to set it with a little bit of just like translucent powder so it's not too tacky or so it doesn't transfer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but these two products together are really going to help you achieve that ethereal angelic glow that Sabrina Carpenter has. And I'm working late. I've had that line stuck in my head. Everyone's been singing that song. Literally, it's so good. I love it.
What I'd say wrapping these two trends up is that give both a try with the products that you have at home. Make it work. It's all about the way you're applying these products.
Those techniques.
And see what you like and let us know, because I'm a big fan of the Wine Girly makeup and Jamie's a big fan of Sabrina Carpenter's makeup. Bombshell era. So you know, you're going to find one that suits you within these two trends.
And saying that, I've tried this Sexy Secretary red wine, and I still think it does look good on me, but I do look better with the Sabrina Carpenter trend. So it really just shows you that when you do
do both.
Yeah, when you do play into these trends for fun, you really can find something that works for you very well, but you don't need to obviously feel compelled to play into these trends if it's not your style.
Yeah, like if you've got your thing, you've got it.
You've got
but
your
if you
thing.
want to have some fun, try it out.
Exactly. I love these new techniques that we're seeing from a lot of TikTokers and influencers on social media. It's really cool to watch how makeup is being used and the techniques that are being used and the evolution of that from like the YouTube days. People's techniques are amazing, so it's really, really fun, and I love these two trends, and they're definitely trending for different reasons and for the right reasons. And that's it for today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today on Skinfluence.
If you love what you hear, leave us a rating and a review.
If you are interested in any of the products mentioned in today's episode, there are links available in the episode description on your podcast app. And if you have a question or want us to cover anything on the pod, please reach out via our socials. Mine is at Jayme Jo.
And mine is at Jessie Massoud. We'd love to hear from you.
Or you can even send us an email at skinfluence@novapodcasts.com.au.
See you next week.
Bye, guys. We love you.